Hi students. In this project, we are going to learn the front-end application. So here I am going to use the React.js, React.js to build our front-end applications. So before going to learn this React.js application, let's revise our what we did in the backend. Okay. So in our first project, okay. So I explained like what is AWS Lambda, what is AWS Lambda project, like AWS ETL process, how we are going to extract the data transformation load and complete a design part. Okay, so this process I explained, right? But in that, if you are applying the job for data engineer role, this concept is very important. Why? Because the data engineer is completely designed on this process, like extracting transformation load. So this concept is must and should. Okay, you should not miss in case if you are applying the job on the data engineering role. Okay, so in the real time how we are going to do, I explained everything. Okay, in this. Okay, so in this ETL process, what are the concepts I covered? Okay, so here, so how to build a ETL data pipeline project with Python and step by step. So I explained like what is extract, transform, load. So what are the use? These are the use cases we did, right? So this is the process and the abstract interface, the domain structure. Okay, how to design the ETL structures and what are the project requirements we need, minimum project requirements. Okay, so these are the minimum project requirements to do the AWS ETL process. Okay, how to create AWS Lambda project and deploy the. Okay, we deployed a project in the AWS and we ran successfully and we tested. Okay, what is how to work with GitHub, that concept I covered. Okay, so see here use cases, what is the input validations, what is AWS Lambda structures, okay, and how to create the AWS Lambda layers. Okay, so everything I covered in the ETL process. So in case if you are looking for a job on the data engineer role, okay, or data scientist, okay, data related, okay, or else cloud, AWS cloud, this ETL process is a must and should. Okay, you should learn this. So here I explained everything like a real time structure. Okay, so after that, what I ex- what is the project I did? AWS APIs. Okay, this is one of the most important concept after the ETL process. Why? Because nowadays everyone is generating the microservices. Okay, most of the front end applications are based on the JavaScript related. Okay, like React.js, Node.js, AngularJS. So these applications must and should have these APIs. So in this project, I explained how to create the APIs using the AWS. It's not a like a Python program. It's a Python program, but it is completely related to the AWS. So we use the AWS API gateways and AWS Lambda. Okay, and yeah, AWS services. Okay, so here I cover. Let me show you ETL APIs. Yeah, here. So API gateway. So what is API gateway? What is the importance? What are the key components and methods? Okay, and use cases. Okay, sample structure, sample data. Okay, so this is the flow of the API gateway. So how the user send a request to the API gateway and how API gateway gives the response to the user, right? And API gateway structure and again project requirements and sample project structure. Okay, and here I introduced the open API. So if you are working on the APIs, so okay, in the real time, open API concept is one of the most important. So without this concept, you can't build the APIs. Okay, this is what is the open API, how to agreement with the backend developers and front-end developers. So this open API is an agreement between the front-end developers and backend developers. I explained how to create this open API. Okay, okay. So how these two developers collaborate to build their applications. Okay, so this what is the API, the YAML file and the template YAML file. Completely, this is not like a general project. This is like a completely a real-time related work. So CRUD operations we did. I took the user management system like sorry. get user details, create user in the database, get, put, delete. Okay, these type of functionalities. After that, the Lambda authorizes, how to create the Lambda authorizes. So what is Lambda authorizer? So what is the importance of the Lambda authorizer? Okay, so everything I covered here. Okay, what is BREF token based authorizer? Okay, everything I covered. So this is our second project. Okay, so after that, what I explained, the ORM. So one of another one of the most important in the data engineering. So first one is the ETL process, second one is the API gateway, and third one is the ORM. So this is also very important. So if you are working with the database, okay, by using the Python, you should learn this ORM concept. So by using this ORM concept, we can interact with our database. That concept also I explained, like it is also like a project. So what is Python ORM? What is ORM? What is the importance of this ORM? Okay, and what is flow diagram? Okay, how we are interact with the relational database. Okay, and the project structure. If you are working on the ORM, so what are the models? Like models we have to create. We have to create the tables. We have to create the repositories and the database. Okay, so in the real time, we have to follow the all these structures. So it is not like a normal Python related code. It is we have to build every project like a structured wise. Okay, so if you want to learn the ORM, you must and should follow this structure. Okay, this is real time structure. Okay, and database connections. Okay, and database connection details. So what are the dialectics? Okay, project structure. Okay, and create a MySQL database. How to create the database directly in the AWS cloud, and how to communicate, okay, from the local machine, like using MySQL workbench and Python code. So this is like a tables, how to create this tables, table structure. Okay, and Python ORM modules. Okay, user models, register table with user models. So step by step explained. Okay, if you just follow my videos, at the end you will learn all these concepts. Okay, now up to now we covered three projects, right? Like ETL process is very important, API's concept is also very important, ORM also very important. So these are all related to, if you are applying a job for the AWS related services, you must and should know these three process. Okay, so these three process, most of the companies uses these three process, okay, to use the AWS services. Okay, and finally this project like front end. Okay, we just covered the back end. Now in this project, okay, we are going to learn ReactJS project. Okay, so we have the back end. So these are the back end related information. So I already created the endpoints. Okay, now what we are going to do, you by using this backend. Okay, so backend APIs, and we are interacting with front end application. Okay, so now how to do these two combination, like front end and back end combination, we are going to learn in this tutorial. Okay, so after learning this, you will get a complete idea what is the back end, how it works, and what is the front end, how it works, and how these two peoples are collaborating and are doing a project. So it's like a full stack. You will become a full stack developer. So if you know all these concepts, you will become a full stack developer, right? Okay, okay, let's start the React.js application. Okay, okay, in my next video. So after these are the concepts you must and should learn. Okay, if you know all these concepts, you can build a full-fledged application, like full-fledged website. Okay, let's start with the React.js application in my next video. Thank you.